Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about makeup I like but that I will not repurchase. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so I've seen this video from a couple of other creators and I thought it was a really interesting concept because looking at my collection, there is certainly makeup items that I really enjoy, but that I actually would not repurchase once I run out. And I did not include any eyeshadows in this video because it's very unlikely I'm ever actually going to run out of eyeshadow, so I did not include those in this video. But let's just jump right into it. So the first one is actually a primer, and this is one I'm working on as part of my Project Pan, and this is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. So I have a mini of this one and it's perfectly fine. This is one I really hated when I first tried it out, but I figured out the trick with this one is to really just push it into the skin rather than swiping. Swiping tends to make it pill on me. So for that reason, I wouldn't repurchase this, and as much as I like it, I think it's quite nice. It really does give a really smooth canvas. I just do think there are some other primers that I enjoy much more than this one. So once I'm done with this one, it will not be a repurchase. And the next product is actually a priming step for me as well. This is one I thought for sure I would be repurchasing the full-size product, but this is the Hollywood Flawless Filter. So I have a mini, I have the shade Too Fair, and I actually just purchased the e.l.f. alternative for this product. This one is getting very low, and I do need to take the stop route. I just can't seem to get it out, but this one is getting quite low. I love this product. I love the way it makes my foundation look underneath. I just think it looks so pretty. But the thing is, this is incredibly expensive, and if the e.l.f. product performs similarly, then I really don't need to purchase this. I'm also on an unofficial primer no-buy. I have an obnoxious amount of primers in my collection, and I do not know why. So I honestly haven't bought a new primer in a really long time. Except for the e.l.f. product, except for that one, but I really haven't been buying primers. So I wouldn't repurchase this one, especially given how pricey it is and that I may have a much cheaper alternative. I also pulled out the Dior Powder No Powder. So first of all, this one has been reformulated. So I couldn't purchase this exact formula even if I wanted to, but looking at this product, I do like it. It is very finely milled. I love how it can set my foundation without adding any heaviness. I do have dry skin, so powder can often be a little bit too heavy. This doesn't do that. This doesn't cling or look too heavy on my skin, but I will say it does hard pan very easily. And I just have no patience for that. So I would not repurchase this one even when the reformulated version comes out. I wouldn't repurchase it. It's fine. I have powders that I like so much more. And sticking with powders for a moment, I have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. So I initially did intend to buy a refill of this product once I'm done. You can see I've made quite a bit of progress on this powder. I'm not even trying to pan it. This happened very organically. The reason I wouldn't repurchase this is because I have such a love for the new Airbrush Flawless Brightening Powder. I just think that one is incredible. I think it's more blurring than this one. It does have brightening properties. And while they serve different purposes, I just don't think I need this one and that one. And that one will definitely be a repurchase. So this one I can safely say I would not repurchase. An eye primer that I would not repurchase is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is a great product. It really is. It's just that my Milani eyeshadow primer serves the exact same purpose and it's a fraction of the cost. So they do the exact same thing and it is so much less expensive, so I would not repurchase this. I am also intrigued to try out some other primers. I've heard the one from Rare Beauty is really good, so I think when I run out of my Milani, I would probably go for the Rare Beauty over this one, but the Milani is a repurchase. This one is just not. I do like the applicator of this one better than the Milani. The Milani is just a squeezy tube, whereas this one you actually get an applicator, and I kind of like that. But overall, I can't say that I would ever repurchase the primer potion, especially when there are less expensive alternatives. A brow pencil that I really thoroughly enjoyed but would not repurchase is the ABH Brow Wiz. So I had mine in the shade Soft Brown, which is the perfect eyebrow shade for me. This is so nice to work with. It's just a very fine tip. It fills in the brows so quickly, so seamlessly. It looks so nice. The problem is I don't think you need to go with a high-end brow product for any reason. I just don't. I am actually very low on brow products right now. I am working my way through them. I actually have a bit of an unofficial goal to use up all my brow pencils and then buy a new one. There are certain areas of my collection that will always be larger and heavier because I do like to review those categories, but there are areas such as setting sprays, brow products, things like that that just, they don't need to be large. So I do try to keep those categories very minimal in my collection. And I genuinely think that once I've used up all of the brow products in my collection, I will just go buy a brow pencil at the drugstore. The CoverGirl Ultra Fine brow pencil is perfect. I'm content with that. I would just go grab that one and then maybe a brow gel. And that's it. That's all I need. I do not need any expensive brow products in my collection. So I definitely would not repurchase. I loved it. I just don't need it. Okay, I feel like I'm picking on Charlotte Tilbury quite a lot in this video, but I would also not repurchase the Airbrush bronzer. So the thing with this is it's a really nice bronzer. It definitely does look airbrushed on the skin. The problem is the shade range. She only has 4 bronzer shades, which is just not enough. So I've noticed some brands recently have been expanding their bronzer and contour shade ranges because what they had just wasn't enough. And I love to see that, and I would love to see that from Charlotte. I think if she introduced a shade between this one and medium, I think I might pick that up. But if she doesn't do that and only keeps these 4 shades, I don't think I would ever repurchase this one. I absolutely love her cream bronzer she came out with last year, but this one is just so light that my skin is incredibly light and I can't get this to show up on my skin. So this isn't one I would repurchase. To me, it's just a bit of a waste of money given that it doesn't show up on my skin and it was incredibly expensive. You do get a ton of product, which is definitely a plus, and which is why I would say that if she did introduce more shades, then this could potentially be a repurchase. Because I love the compact, I love that you get a ton of product, and I do love that it's very smooth, very blendable, definitely gives an airbrushed sort of effect. It's just the shade range is not good, so I can't really say I would repurchase this. Okay, one more Charlotte Tilbury product. This is the Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand, and this is one of the blush wands in Pinkgasm. So the highlight wand, I would absolutely repurchase. I love that one. I love how that looks on my skin. The new matte blush wands, I also really enjoy. I wouldn't repurchase this because I don't love a super glowy blush, and I feel like this does that. I feel like her new matte blush wands tend to mimic the finish of the foundation that is underneath, whereas this one is just a very glowy blush, and that's just not my preference. So for that reason, I would not repurchase this wand in particular. The highlight wand, yes. The matte blush wands, perhaps, but definitely not the glowy blush wands. And finally, from Pat McGrath, her Dark Star mascara. This is what I'm wearing today. It's a nice mascara, but it's nothing special. So this does have that really nice bristle brush with the hourglass shaped wand. Really nice, really great for volume, but you can get the exact same type of thing from the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift Mascaras. It's the same effect for literally a fraction of the price. This retails for almost $40 Canadian. Who on earth is paying $40 for a mascara? Not me. I got this on one of her 30% off sales and I stacked another discount code. So that's why I did purchase this, but otherwise I do not think this mascara is worth the price point. But that is it for me today. These are some makeup items that I actually really like, but that I just will not repurchase for one reason or another. So that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!